it with Soul Store?
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I think like pretty much every business in the country and the world over, obviously it has had a financial impact on the business. Specifically, I think from an e-commerce point of view, the biggest challenge I think that we have currently faced is the fact that there hasn't been much certainty on when the lockdown will end. There's also been a lot of mixed communication from different sources about what product categories will reopen when. So I think that's been one of the biggest challenges for us. Secondly, I think the other challenge that we were kind of scared of when the whole thing started was how we would manage working from home. Especially, I think in a very creative environment where most of your work and most of your output depends on various teams getting together and coming up with ideas and coming up with plans. Initially, it was a very scary thought as to whether we could manage with people working from home. Would the efficiency be the same? Would the output be the same? And I think we've actually managed. I think our team has definitely pulled up their socks. They've definitely kind of surprised us, and we've actually realized that people have been surprisingly as productive, if not more productive, while working from home.
So, how do you think is impacting the licensing deals that you are doing currently with a lot of brands? So, has that slowed down a lot?
Okay, so a couple of things. I think we can probably break it down as the kinds of licenses that we have. So the Soulstore obviously is the biggest brand for official merchandise in India. We've tied up with I think more than 100 international and national brands, from superheroes to TV shows, music, comedians, YouTubers, brands like Seven Up and KFC as well. So I think the effect that it has had depends on the kind of partnership we have. For example, Mumbai Indians and CSK, which are our two IPL teams that we have on board, it has definitely strongly impacted the sales of these two teams because the IPL has now been suspended. Similarly, a couple of our DC and Marvel basically had a couple of movies planned in the next few months, which may now get postponed. So that does have a direct impact on sales. There are obviously certain other properties which do not have live events or which do not have upcoming events. Properties like Friends, properties like Harry Potter, which are kind of evergreen, right? So I think the impact that this has had really depends on the kind of license. Whether people were expecting a live event, people were expecting a movie. That definitely I think has that does play a role in whether the sales have been affected or not.
Mhm.
As far as new licensing deals are concerned, yes, I think definitely we are, and I think that in general the industry is planning to go a little slow. The main concern, like I said, for that is we're not really sure when things are going to go back to normal. We definitely see that people will be a lot more cautious about their spending once things open up because everyone has taken a financial hit. There are pay cuts that have been announced for pretty much every company. People have been laid off. So yeah, I think definitely as of now, we're not in the immediate future, probably not looking to sign any licenses. Regarding our current licenses, also, I think most of our license partners have been with us for the last 4 or 5 years, and we've got a great relationship with them. So yeah, definitely we have been speaking to them as well about how we can kind of deal with the financial impact of this situation. Sales have undoubtedly been affected. We've completely obviously stopped couriers. Revenue has been affected. We have obviously been going slow on the marketing as well to kind of deal with the situation. So yeah, I think we have been fortunate where a lot of our license partners have kind of worked out commercial arrangements that can kind of benefit us, and we do not have certain sort of pressures that would otherwise have come with the financing deals and the licensing deals that we have. So they've definitely been a bit lenient with us. I think the right word is it's a partnership, right?
Right.
Because when you are working with someone for 4 or 5 years, you are going to have a couple of bad months in a situation like this. So I think what is most important is for licensors to kind of hold hands with the licensees and kind of help them through these difficult times for a longer partnership in future.
Super. So, tell me something about the Soul Store. Soul Store is completely based on the licensing business, or y'all do product manufacturing for some non-licensed products as well?
No. So I think our business split right now between our licensed products and our original designs is about 70-30
Okay.
approximately. So about 70% of our merchandise is in partnership with our various licenses, and about 30% is our original designs. The plan is definitely to, I think, increase the percentage of TSS original designs,
Okay.
because while a lot of people obviously come to us and they expect licensed merchandise of various characters, I think we have been able to build a lot of goodwill with our fan base through fan base merchandise. So a lot of people basically came to us for the first time because they wanted a Superman t-shirt or a WWE t-shirt or a Harry Potter t-shirt.
Right.
But once they had the first experience with us, once they like the service, they like the price, they like the quality, and they trust the brand, we've actually seen that in the second and third and the fourth transactions with us, a lot of them end up buying a lot more TSS original designs, which are your plain t-shirts and your original funny designs. So that is definitely, I think, a core focus of ours to kind of build the TSS brand as well, in addition to being your one-stop destination for licensed merchandise.
Okay. And what are other product categories? What are the differentiate product categories? Because I see a lot of Marvel characters and all those things. So how is Soul Store different?
Sure. So I think there is no shortage of people selling the kinds of designs that we do. So if you type Superman t-shirt, for example, on Google or on Amazon, you will find hundreds of sellers doing it. A couple of them officially, most of them obviously non-officially. I think if I have to tell you a couple of factors that differentiate us from other people doing similar designs or similar characters, one is, I think, purely the variety of characters that we have on our website, the variety of licenses. So, like I said, we have more than 100 national and international partnerships. What that has done for us is when people now want to buy a superhero T-shirt or a Harry Potter T-shirt or any other official merchandise, the first brand that they think of is the Soul Store. So we've actually even seen this. To give you an example, when we do a post for, say, Mumbai Indians or Chennai Super Kings to launch their new T-shirt, we have a lot of fans coming and saying, "Can you please launch RCB merchandise or Sunrisers merchandise, for example?" Simply because that expectation is there that if I need to buy IPL merchandise, I know that the Soul Store is the one who's going to launch it next. So I think we've basically been able to develop that sort of relationship with our customer base. Secondly, I think our designs are a USP, undoubtedly. We don't just take like a logo, put it on a T-shirt and sell it. I think the kind of designs that we have versus the designs that you see on a lot of other websites, I think there is a massive difference. We also invest heavily in product development. So we've always been innovating with the kinds of products we do. Even in apparel, we've done various styles. We have, I think, more than 10 to 15 styles of apparel on our website. I think the third sort of differentiating factor that has basically kind of taken us a step ahead of everyone else is when we launched our membership last year. So I think it's probably the first time a brand like ours has ever launched a membership or a subscription model. That really helps the Soul Store is the fact that we've had a long relationship with all our partners. So pretty much every license you see on the website has been with us for the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years. We've got a great working relationship with our licensors. Because of this, we've also seen in a lot of situations our licensors also market us, which is actually unheard of in the licensing industry. Normally, if you see how it goes, is a licensor will sell the license to the licensee at a certain fee. It's then the licensee's obligation to basically make sure that they hit certain sales targets and they recover the license fee from sales. In no situation is the licensor obligated to market or push the licensee. That's not a part of any contract. We've still been very, very fortunate where Marvel, DC, Harry Potter, WWE, Chennai Super Kings, Mumbai Indians, all of these top partners of ours regularly promote us. They do social media posts for us. They've actually paid for TV ads for the Soul Store as well. Now, what happens is if I'm a fan of any of these properties, if I'm following the Mumbai Indians page, if I'm following the Marvel page, when one of these guys go and tell me go to thesoulstore.com to buy official merchandise, I think that has a massive, massive impact on the fans. It also kind of further cements that sort of impression that the Soul Store is the one place for official merchandise. So I think our licensor supporting us through various marketing activations has kind of helped us take the Soul Store to the next level as far as licensed merchandise is concerned.
Okay, super. So what are your revised strategy post this COVID lockdown when it's been lifted? What are you planning as to how the Soul Store is going to go out in the market? Are you going to continue the same marketing strategies, or there's a huge change in the dynamics of it? How do you plan this out?
Okay. So yes, I think like I had mentioned earlier, I think once things go back to where they were earlier, it's still going to take a while for us to go back to what normal is. I actually think that once the lockdown is over and once things settle, even our definition of normal will be different. One thing that we have realized right now is that we cannot definitely keep doing the things that we were doing 3, 4, 5 months ago and expect things to continue the way they were, simply because this situation has had not only a massive short-term impact on people, but we also see a midterm and a long-term impact where, in general, it will affect or it will have an impact on the mindset of the customer. One of the biggest things I think that we've kind of seen around the world is that there was obviously a lot of paranoia. People didn't really expect something like this to happen. We obviously saw the sales of sanitizers, the sales of masks, all of these products shoot up massively, and all these products kind of sold out. I think even once the situation settles, I think a general sort of paranoia is going to be there in customers. No one wants to experience something like this again. And I think in a situation like this, what is very, very important, not just for us or not just for the e-commerce space, but brands in general, is to kind of re-establish that trust with the customer. I think that is going to be extremely, extremely important. I think showing the trust communication with customers. One more thing I think that is extremely important for brands to keep in mind is we've obviously seen pretty much every brand advertising on social media now, putting out some communication or the other about the current situation. A lot of brands are now suddenly tying up with various NGOs and doing partnerships where you can raise donations. While I completely support the fact that all of us should do whatever little we can to help people in need, I think it's also very impossible. It's very important for brands to realize how they communicate. I think people on social media, our followers, our customers, people who are our potential customers, I think are a lot smarter than most brands give them credit. And I think when a customer sees a brand suddenly jumping onto the bandwagon and making a small donation, I think customers can understand when a brand is genuinely doing it versus when a brand is just doing it, I think, to kind of gain some social credit. So it's very, very important to kind of see how we communicate. If we don't have something specific to contribute, I think it's okay for a brand to not talk about the situation. I don't think every brand is expected to have an opinion on the situation. But what is definitely worse than not having an opinion is having an opinion that seems irrelevant or forced. I think that will have a much bigger negative impact on a brand. What is the Soul Store doing specifically? Yes, our marketing is going to change. Like I said, there's a lot more focus on kind of re-establishing the trust with the memberships and the base that we have. We've had more than I think 1.7 or 1.8 million customers over the last 6 to 7 years, which is a massive base. We're very, very thankful for it. But I think we definitely need to go back to the drawing board and see how we can kind of reopen channels of communication with them. We are also revising certain plans that we had for certain products and launches, because obviously the country has kind of been on standstill for the months of April and May, which may continue to June as well. So definitely the kinds of products that we were launching, the timing of the products would change a bit. We are also in general as a brand keeping in mind the fact that even once we open, there may be a reduced demand for the kind of products that we do. Again, like I said, lots of pay cuts, lots of jobs being basic, lots of people being laid off. So we do have a plan B in mind as well, where if people do not want to say buy t-shirts or mobile covers or bags with the same enthusiasm that they were buying earlier, what next? So we do have a couple of sort of fun ideas in mind as to how we can deal with a reduced demand in our products. And over the next couple of months, you will definitely see us doing a lot more interesting things on our app and on our website to kind of take care of these situations. So yeah.
Beautiful. So, on the final note, just tell me something. What do you think the overall licensing industry is gonna be in India as well as globally?
Okay. So like I said, I think if we have to break up licensing very broadly into two categories, one is obviously the kind of partnerships or the kind of brands that depend, say, on live events, right? So if you take sports, for example, which is a massive sector, or you take music, for example, which is a big chunk of the licensing revenue. I think for a long time, I think we are not going to have sporting events, or even if we have sporting events, they're probably going to happen in empty stadiums. That is definitely going to affect the potential of sports merchandise, because a lot of these sales obviously happen on ground at the time of the event. So to that extent, I definitely see sports and live music merchandise definitely taking a bit of a hit. But I think everything is not that pessimistic. One sort of positive thing that we have seen coming out of this situation is, because sports, like I said, has taken a hit. There are no live events. There are no matches that you can attend and buy the merchandise at. We definitely do think that there is a potential that online sales of sports merchandise will pick up. because that's the only place where people can buy merchandise. So I think while live event merchandise and on ground merchandise will take a massive hit, I do personally think that it will kind of help push online sales as well, because the person who would have gone to a stadium or to a concert to buy the t-shirt will probably now come online to buy the same product. So to that extent, I definitely do see it helping us. Again, entertainment licenses or licenses which depend on movies, for example, again, I definitely do see them taking a hit, simply because theaters have been shut. I think that's again going to open up slowly. Other stuff like TV shows, for example, I actually think TV shows, on the other hand, may do even better. We've obviously seen people binge watching shows a lot more in the last 1.5 months. It's one of the only ways of us keeping ourselves
Netflix,
entertained.
we can take an example of Netflix. They had a projection of 7 billion, and now they've reached $15 billion as a.
Yes, so
It's a huge.
it is huge. Yes, we've also seen this, I think, with our customers. So when we are putting out posts for different merchandise and different things, I think a lot of shows are gaining a lot more popularity right now. People are rewatching a lot of their old favorite shows,
Yeah.
and because of that, a lot of people have been asking for merchandise for a lot of old shows as well. So I definitely do see that kind of picking up as well, because people are spending a lot more time interacting with those shows.
Mm.
But I think in general, the e-commerce and the merchandise space, like every other business in the world, is I think going to take at least 3 to 6 months to kind of get back on track. And what is, I think, important for licensees and licensors is to kind of manage their expectations accordingly. Um, Obviously, things have not gone as per plan. No one could have predicted something like this, and I think it's important for us to kind of manage our expectations, revise our internal targets as well, realistically see what can happen, what cannot happen. And it's definitely, I think, important for licensors, like I said, to kind of help licensees out in this situation, whether it's license fees, it's royalties, any other sort of commercial help that they can pass on to the licensees.
Mm.
Because once this situation does become better, I think eventually a license or licensee partnership can only do well if it's a long term partnership over 3, 5, 6, 10 years, so you can maximize the benefit out of the association. So I think in a 5 or 6 year period, I think a 3 to 6 month period is not such a big deal. And it will be very, very important for licensors and licensees to kind of work together and get through the situation.
So overall, what I can understand from what you're saying is by the year end, I think we should start seeing certain positive results, and 2021 is the year of good results, is what I'm saying.
I definitely hope so. That's definitely the plan. I think a couple of encouraging signs that we have seen is China is obviously a country that has kind of seen the worst of the situation, is now slowly coming back on track and things are opening up. I have actually read a lot of articles about how retail sales in China have actually massively picked up. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people who kind of just, in a way, fed up sitting at home for 2 or 3 months, everyone wanted to get out, everyone wanted to go back to what their normal lives were. So we have seen a lot of retail chains experiencing a massive, massive sort of jump in sales, because everyone who wanted to basically buy something for the last 3 months has now suddenly come out and they've started buying stuff, right? So I think we do hope that that sort of similar sentiment also comes across in India and in the e-commerce space. And we are keeping a plan B in mind, assuming that the next 6 months will be slow for us. Obviously, if the next 6 months go great, then it's just better. But as a brand and as an organization, when we are responsible for so many people who are in our team, I think it's very, very important for us to have a plan B and make sure that we keep the ship steady and going even through tough times.
Right. So when a time like this, is there any problems with Soul Store? Are you kind of laying off people, or how's it happening with you?
No, no. So it's obviously it has been a very, very difficult time for us. Like I said, for the last, I think, more than a month, our operations have been completely shut. We've not been shipping out orders. But like I said, what we do realize is that these next couple of months are going to be tough. We do not want to take any permanent decision based on a temporary problem. I think that is something that we're very, very clear about. That while the next 2, 3, 4 months may be tough, we have, I think, more than 250 people as a part of our organization now. All of those people are obviously extremely important. We are trying our level best to not lay off people, simply because we think it's a temporary solution, with permanent impacts on their lives and on us, right? Because 2, 3 months down the line, once things get better, we would want those people back on track, back with the Soul Store. So as a company, we are specifically not laying off any people.
Oh, super. So, any last minute message that you would want to give out to everyone listening to you and on the COVID and on staying home or things like that? Being
Yeah,
strong.
I think, I mean, definitely, like, I think I'm not an authority on how to deal with the situation, but yeah, I think like everyone else, we've all basically been kind of just staying at home. I think what's extremely important to do is at a time like this, I don't think any of us have basically had a situation where we've been stuck at home for 1.5 months. It's the first time we've ever done something like this. I think it's very easy to, I think, get frustrated and bored. It's not fun for anyone. Everyone wants to get out. Everyone wants to go for a jog, go for a drink, go for a movie, meet their friends. I think what is extremely important to kind of realize is that everyone is basically facing this. We're not alone. If it's frustrating for us, it's frustrating for everyone else. And I think the least we can kind of do from our end is do whatever little part we can to try helping the overall situation. Because while everyone is working hard, you have so many people. You have your cops, your nurses, doctors. All of them are putting their lives on the line to kind of help us out. I think the least we can do from our end is at least support them and do a small part to make sure that we can get back on track faster.
Thank you so much, Harsh, for joining us.
Yep. Take care.